You should just start saying that to shit that he believes. ICE is putting away all the criminals and drug dealers? No, dude, that's all AI. That is all AI, actually. Trump, they cheated in the 2020 election. No, that was AI too. We didn't even know it. We bombed Iran? No, that was AI. We never even bombed Iran in the first place. You didn't hear? I don't know. Just start lying. It's not about... Wait, what is this? IOF soldiers literally wearing a patch of Greater Israel? Oh, yeah. I mean, that's not... I guess this video has been taken down. Not surprising. Thank you, Meta. That's been a thing for a while now. Egypt is not going to take kindly to that, by the way. I don't know what the fuck... I don't know when the fuck they plan to invade Egypt, but probably not in our lifetime. But knowing Netanyahu, maybe next week.
Also be discussing the war in Gaza after the prime minister had some words. Here was President Trump before.
By the way, Egypt is the second highest recipient of American military aid, by the way. Like, yeah, and north of Saudi Arabia, another massive recipient of U.S. military aid. This is so stupid, dude. Just destroying our own fucking soft power and foreign policy at the same time to defend Israel, a state that's also destroying itself. Yeah, Egypt was also in the Bible, promised to the Egyptians and the Pharaoh.
Leaving the White House for Scotland.
It was too bad. Hamas didn't really want to make a deal.
This is exactly what Joe Biden said for a fucking year and a half, by the way. He's doing the Joe Biden strategy. They don't want to make a deal. They keep changing the terms. It's not fair. So Israel just has to do whatever.
I think they want to die. And it's very...
Yeah, I didn't hear that one.
Hamas didn't really want to make a deal. I think they want to die. And it's very, very bad. Are you done with and it got to be to a point where...
He's such a fucking putrid monster.
You're going to have to finish the job.
And then earlier today, Britain's prime minister saying on X, quote, Israel must allow aid in overland to end the starvation unfolding in Gaza.
They didn't even do that. They did a fucking tiny air aid drop and said that they were going to do more at night, which I don't even believe.
Situation is desperate. We are working with Jordan to get aid into Gaza. We are urgently accelerating efforts to evacuate children who need critical medical assistance to the UK for treatment. I am determined to find a pathway to peace. Now, former Trump Secretary of State and CIA Director Mike Pompeo had a different take. Here's his response.
He's busy prosecuting Palestine action in his own fucking country. Yeah. I mean, this is a long debunked fucking lie. But yeah, shout out Overzealots. Great video essay. Andy, here. I'll put that up for later.
To the Britain's prime minister.
Prime Minister Starmer's statement is just fundamentally fraudulent. The Israelis, who are fighting an enemy that's trying to kill them, is providing...
Fighting an enemy that's trying to kill them. Maybe it's because they're starving the civilians and killing the civilians and using perfidy and aid as bait. I don't...
food to the Gazan people in wartime as a matter of historical fact, right? To feed your adversary and their civilians while you're still at war with them, that's really quite something.
Bro. When a country is at war with... This is why we don't call it a war here. Because it's not. When two countries are at war with one another, one country is not in control of the entire supply line and power supply and fuel supply and food supply and aid supply and medical supply into the country they're at war with. That does not happen in a war. That's occupation. That's occupation and ethnic cleansing. Jesus Christ, dude. They're just so they're so fucking shameless with it. American Airlines plane caught fire? This shit is still going on. Oh my god. Ooh, that lady ate shit. That's fine. Do we know what kind of plane this is yet?
You okay? No, he's not.
That's so fucking scary. It doesn't seem like anybody got hurt, though. Yeah, I did see the Hassan interview earlier. That was really good. Yeah, it turns out fucking ripping up safety regulations is really fucking bad for people.
Now, earlier today, President Trump's deputy FBI director, Dan Bongino, posted something cryptic on X saying, "I'll never be the same after learning what I've learned."
If he was trying to defend Trump here, my only counter argument for my point earlier that this is coordinated with Trump, if he was trying to defend Trump here, it looks really bad.
Going to conduct
It looks super suspicious.
these righteous and proper investigations by the book and in accordance with the law. We are going to get the answers we all deserve with any investigation. I cannot predict where it will land, but I can promise you an honest and dignified effort at truth, not my truth or your truth,
We're gonna try
but
hard.
the truth. Perhaps he's talking about some investigations there into the Epstein case, or perhaps Tulsi Gabbard's investigation, John. And also,
Yeah, do you think it's about how Obama cheated in the 2016 election? That's the other thing. Is like, is it really about that? How Trump got his campaign spied on 10 years ago? I don't know. Do you know of any EU communities where I can meet people who care about Palestine/Ukraine/POTUS? I feel like I'm alienating my Danish friends when trying to talk to them. I mean, there's definitely people everywhere. I mean, there are Europeans that were illegally detained by Israel today, and on the Medellin a few weeks ago. Yeah, I mean, probably not POTUS, but Ukraine especially. Yeah, and Palestine.
this comes ahead of President Trump's meeting with the EU president tomorrow. No doubt trade on the discussions ahead of that August 1 deadline. The 27-nation European Union wants to make a deal ahead of that August 1 deadline, try to reduce those tariffs, and probably likely on the schedule more golf for President Trump. Of course, a little too early to shoot grouse and pheasant there.
What? A little too early to shoot grouse and pheasant. Fox News isn't even like reporting on that Epstein stuff. This is like they made one fucking sentence mention of it. It's pretty crazy. Azalea Banks says, okay, in Donald Trump's defense, fucking 14-year-old girls was really only made a social taboo in the 1990s. That's not true at all. My grandmother was born in 1927, which is like 25 years, like 20-ish years. Maybe like 18 years before Trump was born, but still. And had her first child when she was 12, which is, she was a victim. How old was your grandfather? Teenage pregnancy only became frowned upon with the rise of Jerry Springer. Yeah, I was gonna show this too. I'm moving on. Azealia Banks is always on some crazy shit. Sometimes she'll like say something like honest and true, but 80% of the time is like, yeah, nonsense. Very like unhinged. Anyway. Trump was asked about Epstein while golfing, which, how dare you? You're interrupting his secret space or whatever. Special place? What was it? Secret place?
Are you
With
enjoying
God?
the Scottish hospitality?
There were Sky News questions, sure.
Mr. Trump, can you escape the Jeffrey Epstein crisis?
Maybe that's why we heard this.
What's that song?
I don't know, it's very famous though.
Speeding off.
It's from a musical. Yeah. Memories.
Music
Cats, isn't it? Or is it?
boomed out from the convoy of golf carts, drowning out the surrounding sound.
He loves
Are you
cats.
enjoying the Scottish hospitality?
He's such a fucking musical theater diva. The gayest musical ever. And he is a big fan of it. He loves cats and he loves Phantom of the Opera. That plane was a Boeing 737. They're the ones that keep having problems, and the reason their plants and facilities were under investigation. I was wondering if that's what it was. It's insane when people do that. Well, my grandma was 14 and had a child with my grandpa who was 34, but they were married till they died and were happy. So your grandma got groomed into manipulating it, and manipulated into marrying the man who abused her. That's not love, and it's not a flex. Yeah, it's not. There's a lot of horror stories that are just like a generation away. Where, I mean, women weren't given a lot of agency back in the day. It's not just that, like, you know, they stayed in an abusive situation or whatever. It's that, like, society keeps them there and doesn't allow them to have any other prospects. Yeah. Exactly. They couldn't leave. And even if they could leave, they couldn't work. Or couldn't work a job that would pay their bills. If it's between staying with abuse or destitution, people to this day will stay with someone who's abusing them. Poverty is just that brutal and that cruel.
Scotland done.
Yeah, but you can always hit birdies with a golf club. Lucas Tomlinson.
Nice.
God, it's like they're making fun of Trump. Anyway. Trump is golfing. Levin recounts exposing Obama nearly a decade ago, so even Fox News is like, this is old. But, you know, of course it's Levin, so he's still going to glaze Trump in the process. Tulsi Gabbard is trying to take away attention and do damage control for Trump because she's already on his bad side by getting the intel wrong, according to him, on Iran and their nuclear capability. Do you think Trump will follow through on pardoning Ghislaine? He said he's allowed to do it, which is an interesting way to phrase that. Where is it? Yeah, here.
Would you consider a pardon or a commutation for Ghislaine Maxwell if
It's something I haven't thought about. It's really something. It's something I'm allowed to do it, but it's something I have not thought about.
I'm allowed to do it. You can't say no. Ugh. Just realized it's been a while since I've been here. What's your preferred pronoun? Sorry if this has been covered. I have a pronoun command, exclamation point pronouns, but I go by she, they. Thanks for asking, though. They're already calling her a victim on some news stations. Oh, Ghislaine? Oh, absolutely. No, I mean, Alan Dershowitz has been calling for her to be released for some time now. Fox News will act like she's a victim. Like, oops. It's gross. And it's not far from exactly what conservatives always do. If they can obfuscate someone being an abusive pedophile, they will. Look at Candace Owens trying to redeem Harvey Weinstein. It would have been Jeffrey Epstein if he was still alive. It would have literally been him. I promise you it would have. Too connected and too powerful to not be rehabilitated through some fucking dumbass fake podcast investigation. But no, it's Harvey Weinstein. That's who she got. And she did like a 5-part investigative series trying to redeem him by attacking his accusers over and over again. And that's all it was. They're trying to fucking Johnny Depp every pedophile by making them look like, you know, oh, they're just being normal guys. They're just being normal. The women want to ruin his career is the thing. They're only saying anything because he's so famous. I mean, Trump basically says that already about his, you know, other accusers. Here's a link to them calling her a victim. Oh, Newsmax, yeah.
Have been subpoenaed by the Oversight Committee. I think this is great. I do have a feeling that she just might be a victim.
I mean, gee, anything not to believe the victims. That's all it is. It's anything to not believe the victims. Because you have to remember, not only is she a convicted sex trafficker, but she is also a pedophile. She also would like have sex, would like, rape the victims with Jeffrey Epstein. She also did that. So, very much not a victim. The opposite of a victim. Perpetrator. Perpetrator. Evil. Monster.
Just might be. She just might be a victim. She just might be. There was a rush to judgment. There was a lot of chaos there for a while. All right. Granted, she hung out with Jeffrey Epstein. And I know that's apparently not good. But she's in jail.
Who the fuck is this guy? Apparently not good. I don't know. Holy shit. I mean, they're just going mask off at this point. It's like when I was looking at the Nelk Boys. Excuse me. It's like when I was looking at the Nelk Boys and all the different guests they've had on their podcast, and it was just like a list of sex weirdos. It's like Andrew Tate, Bill Maher, Donald Trump, RFK Jr. Like, you got multiple Epstein affiliates on your podcast.
How do you think that the Supreme Court's ruling that benefited you on presidential immunity would apply to former President Barack Obama and what you're accusing?
Evox 75C, thank you for the 16 months. Jen Kagmeyer. Thank you.
Him of doing?
It probably helps him a lot. He's done criminal acts, there's no question about it. But he has immunity, and it probably helped him a lot. He owes me big.
Trump owes me for or Obama owes him for immunity ruling. I guess so. They've decided that Obama has immunity, so they can't prosecute him. So they're not going to lock him up. Pussy.
President
Pussy.
Trump saying former President Obama.
So what's the point of the whole Tulsi Gabbard thing? So she's just going to come on and be like, Obama did treason. We're not going to do anything about it, but he did do treason. I'm just going on the record to say that a president is allowed to do treason, and they can't be prosecuted for it. I'm Tulsi Gabbard.
Obama could benefit from Trump's own fight for presidential immunity now that Obama is tied to that explosive DNI report that details his administration's involvement in the Russia election hoax.
Here now is the report's author, Director of National Security.
Such a weak story, man. So bad. Anyone blocking the release of the files are guilty also. Where are the evidence? We're so sick of the lies and bull S. A pardon for keeping her mouth shut. This is what will happen. Talking about Ghislaine. Everyone blocking the Epstein files are guilty. They're changing the spelling to get around Fox News' comment filter, I think. That's crazy.
Tulsi Gabbard. Welcome to the show, Director.
Good morning.
Not going away.
morning. So let's.
He's not supposed to be here. Get the fuck. What? I didn't consent to him being on this when I clicked on it. Why is Charlie Kirk here? What the fuck? Gangly little weirdo. Get a suit that fits you.
About the reactions that you have had to this report coming out, and also
he's doing Bashar. He's channeling.
You've mentioned obstacles that you've had in actually putting and compiling this report.
Yeah, thanks, Rachel. Thanks for continuing to bring this story to the forefront.
This story that cannot be prosecuted because we gave Trump immunity and that gave Obama immunity too, I guess.
Because of the magnitude of the implications of it. It's been
so funny, dude. This is such a stupid fucking story.
Interesting to see how the mainstream media has either refused to cover this story at all. The headlines or the lack thereof of newspapers, Washington Post, New York Times, and others in the days following this release have actually been quite deafening in their lack of coverage. And it's interesting to see how when they do cover this, they don't actually cover the revelations that these intelligence reports and the evidence.
Like, CNN is actually talking about famine in Gaza today, and they chose today of all days to be like, they should be talking about how Obama is the Antichrist and a Muslim communist. What the fuck is going on?
That we released actually conveys to the American people. They simply talk about their criticisms of it or convey Democrat.
Hey, yeah, stop criticizing it. Just say it's right.
Politicians' criticisms of it, but none of them actually dealing with the truth that has been revealed. And
yeah, I know the CNN coverage was really gross, but it was like, it's still a step up from what they've been doing, which is just like having on a fucking IDF like grunt to be like, we're blowing up Hamas. That's it.
To me, there's two reasons for that. Number one is they don't want the American people to know the truth, but also they recognize the mainstream media's complicity in this, that they were fed early lines from this manufactured false intelligence assessment that President Obama ordered, that John Brennan and James Clapper created without any vetting, without any actual journalistic integrity of looking at what they were being fed. They received it and they printed it almost immediately. And then they went on to...
Wait. Did she say journalistic looking?
Without any actual journalistic integrity of looking.
Oh, integrity of looking.
At what they were being fed. They received it and they printed it almost immediately. And then they went on to double down and triple down on this over the next several years. I look back at, the Iraq WMD, manufactured false intelligence to support.
Yeah, this is just like that.
1 year of stride, unending, non-stop pissing. You should really see a doctor, by the way. Thank you for all the insightful commentary, comfort in these scary times, and empathy when it seems rare nowadays.
You're welcome. Thank you, Death of Atari, for being here. Thank you for the 12 months. The police drones have already hovered outside my... Wait, what? My city started using drones as first responders. They're considering arming them with tasers and pepper spray. They've rolled it out because JD Vance is here, but it's going to be permanent even when he leaves. The police drones have already hovered outside my 70-year-old aunt's bedroom window at her apartment building. What the fuck, bro? That's terrifying. Cops just want to sit in a chair all day. Like drone pilots.
Support an action to go
Lazy
to war in another country. And I went back and looked at the mainstream media's complicity in that, and how many... Did they...
She went back and looked at it.
They ever admit that they were wrong, that they failed as journalists?
It's so funny for the administration that just manufactured consent to bomb Iran, then turning around and being like, Obama saying that Trump had Russia ties is the same as manufacturing consent for war with Iraq. Not the same.
Really, they didn't. They gave, a couple of them gave some lame excuses, but there's a lot of parallels here for us to take a step back and look at, again, the magnitude of what has been revealed and why it's important to every American, not just Democrats or Republicans, but it really has to do with the foundational principles of our democratic republic and the integrity of that. That is the thing that I think a lot of the mainstream media folks, again, have refused to cover at all, or are failing to focus on.
It's such an